shopping at night? Diamond City Surplus?
You need a haircut. Give John a super suit.
Ellie? Are you here?
Nick? Oh God, it's really you.
Well, it's hard to mistake this mug for anyone else.
You keep laughing at death. Someday, death's gonna laugh back.
Not as long as I got a few friends to back me up.
You saved Nick, this agency, and my job. Thank you.
Metal detective delivery, at your service.
Happy to be in a niche market, that's for sure. Here, every cap we agreed to for finding him. Plus a little something extra. You know, if you're looking for work and don't mind putting on the detective hat, Nick sure could use a new partner.
Whoa. One case at a time, Ellie. Our new friend needs our help first. All right, let's get down to business. Take a seat. Make yourself comfortable. When you're trying to find someone who's gone missing, the devil is in the details. Tell me everything you can, no matter how painful it might be.
We were in a vault when it happened. Vault 111. It was some kind of cryo facility.
You were on ice, huh? More importantly, you were underground, sealed up. There's a lot of obstacles to get through just to take one person. What else can you tell me?
My wife was murdered. She was trying to keep them from taking Sean, and they just...
It's okay. You don't need to say anything more.
So, we're talking about a group of cold-hearted killers, but they waited until something went wrong to resort to violence. Anything else you remember?
There was a man and a woman. They didn't say much, but I remember they called me the backup.
So we're talking a small team. Professionals. The kind that know to keep their lips tight when they're on the job. Not sure what the backup means, though. Anything else you remember?
We're looking for my son, Sean. He's less than a year old. Why would anyone take him?
Good question. Why your family in particular? And why an infant? Someone would be taking on all of his care, and a baby needs a lot of it. Now, that confirms it. This isn't a random kidnapping. Whoever took your kid had an agenda. There's a lot of groups in the Commonwealth that take people. Raiders, super mutants, the Gunners, and of course there's the Institute.
Who are the Gunners?
High-end mercenaries. No job too brutal. They're in the running as likely suspects. They wouldn't be the ones pulling the strings.
Super mutants? What are they?
Big, green, muscles on muscles. In other words, hard to miss. I think we can safely rule them out.
You think raiders might have done this?
I honestly doubt it. They can barely organize themselves, let alone pull off something this complicated.
So you think this institute is responsible?
Well, they're the boogeymen of the Commonwealth. Something goes wrong, everyone blames them. Easy to see why. Those early model synths of theirs strip whole towns for parts, killing everything in their way. Then you got the newer models, good as human, that infiltrate cities and pull strings from the shadows. Worst of all, no one knows why they do it, what their plan is, or where they are. Not even me. And I'm a synth myself. A discarded prototype, anyway.
You're a prototype?
As far as I know. Never seen any other synth like myself. There's the older ones that are dumb as rocks and all metal. and there's the newer ones that are almost human. I'm somewhere in between.
You don't know anything about them? Really?
Some kind of security setting strips or blocks out those memories. And it's not just me. Any synth that gets trashed, left behind, or escapes the Institute has the same problem. Probably some kind of failsafe.
Don't lie to me, Nick. You're one of them. They made you.
Yeah, I've heard it all before. You're a freak. You've got something to hide. Blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, people smart enough to build something like me are smart enough to cover their tracks, and arrogant enough to throw their unwanted trash into the Commonwealth and fend for itself.
Either way, I need to find Sean.
You're right. The speculation is getting us off track. Let's focus on what you saw. What did these kidnappers look like?
I'll never forget that voice. Low and rough. Like sandpaper across your face.
Not much to go on, but a tough and commanding voice can get someone pretty far in the violence business. What else?
The man who killed my wife. He had a handgun. I didn't get a clear look at it. But that sound.
Could have been a large caliber revolver. Huh. I'm starting to get a clearer picture of the kind of man our perp is. Anything more you can tell me?
One of them came right up to me. Bald head. Scar across his left eye.
Wait. It couldn't be. You didn't hear the name Kellogg at all, did you?
Oh yeah, I heard their names, their home addresses, and where their diary keys are hidden.
All right, calm down. It's way too big of a coincidence. Ellie, what notes do we have about the Kellogg case?
The description matches. Bald head, scar, reputation for dangerous mercenary work, but no one knows who his employer is.
And he bought a house here in town, right? And he had a kid with him, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. The house in the abandoned West Stands. The boy with him was around 10 years old.
There's no way that could be Sean.
Yeah, big difference between an infant and a 10-year-old, but that doesn't mean we're on the wrong track. He could have a son of his own. Or maybe he's turned kidnapping into a bad habit. In any event, they both vanished a while back. No trace. Let's you and I take a walk over to Kellogg's last known address. See if we can snoop out where he went.
Security doesn't really go to that part of town, but you two should still be careful.
I always am.
You got a second? I got something I want to say to you.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Appreciate it. We've been on the road together for a while. And we've taken some hard knocks. But through all that crap, I notice you've always been sticking by me. You know, watching me back and making sure I don't do anything stupid. I think maybe it's time to tell you a little bit about who you're traveling with. There's no reason for us to keep acting like we're strangers.
It would be nice to know more about you.
You're saying that now, but when you hear me story, you might regret it. It all starts with two waifs of humanity I suppose you could call me parents. I'm convinced I was a mistake, because I can't remember a single moment that they treated me like their daughter. I was yelled at and beaten. Everything I did was wrong. Nothing but a nuisance in their eyes. The whole time I was telling myself that they had to love me, even if it was just the tiniest bit, because they never kicked me out. Then my 18th birthday arrived, and I found out why they kept me around. They slapped a shock collar around my neck and sold me to slavers. They didn't even care enough about me to say goodbye. 18 years of suffering through that shite, and all I was worth to them was a pocket full of caps.
Life can be harsh.
You don't know the half of it. It would be easy to blame me charm and personality on me parents. But they didn't make me this way. I did. I was with those slavers for 5 years. Roughest 5 of me goddamn life. The things they made me do. The way they used me for their amusement. It sickens me to me stomach even thinking about it. But I bided me time and learned to use their own methods against them. Stealing a few caps out of a sleeping man's pocket is a piece of cake. As long as you don't get greedy.
I can't believe you tolerated that. I would have killed them all.
That's easy for you to say. You weren't there. You have no idea what I went through. It took every ounce of patience I had. But after 5 years, I had finally pocketed enough to buy me own way out of there. But instead of heading off to try and repair the shambles of me life, I gave in to me rage and I headed home. You can imagine the look on me parents' faces when I kicked open their door. What you can't imagine is what they looked like after. After I emptied me gun into them.
Sounds like justice to me.
Was it justice? Or was it murder? When I close me eyes, all I can see is their faces twisted with fear. And then my mind starts wandering and I start judging myself. And it's ripping me the fuck apart. You'd think I inject myself with all that shite and drink myself drunk because I'm a tough Irish girl. I do it so I can forget and move on with my miserable life. So there you are. The entire flawed package known as Kate. Stripped bare for your perusal.
Don't worry. I haven't lost faith in you.
I knew I was taking a chance telling you all this. I'm just glad I haven't disappointed you.
I'm always here for you, Kate. There's nothing you can say that would ever change that.
I'm glad you feel that way. We're partners, and we should know everything about each other. Only way to keep the playing field level.
Heads up.
Sure, sure. Just keep your shirt on.
Didn't want Ellie to hear. I think you should know. Everything I dug up about Kellogg before his disappearance. He's more than just a mercenary. He's a professional. Quick, clean, thorough. Has no enemies because they're all dead. Except you. 9 to 1 odds says he's our man. More than just you identifying his distinguishing features. The MO is all him as well. Leading a small team to kidnap a baby and leaving one of the parents alive for later? Not many mercs in the Commonwealth can pull that off. Here we are. Keep an eye out, will you? See if I can get this over. That's one heck of a lock. Something to hide, Kellogg? Why don't you give it a try?
Lock's really strong. Look alive.
No luck? Need to find the key. See that platform in the distance, near the city entrance?
Check it out.
That's the
Yep, I
elevator
got
to
it.
the mayor's office. Why don't you go ask around there?
This one might be
I'll
rough.
stay
Don't get
here
your
and
hopes
see
up.
if I can jimmy this lock.
That was easy. How about a challenge next time?
The mayor's office is near the entrance of the city. There's a platform that should take you up.
Hey, Valentine.
If McDonough won't give you the key, try his secretary, Geneva. She's not above taking a bribe. If all else fails, you could try breaking into Geneva's desk. Or maybe the mayor's safe. Just be sure no one sees you. Let's take a look around. Kellogg must have left something behind.
You're gonna drag that
All to
junk
you?
around.
Figured a guy like Kellogg would think big. Nothing here. Did you check out that desk? I'm telling you, something's not right. Look for anything out of sorts. Switch. A button. Well, that's one way to hide a room. Well, look at this. All of a Merc's favorite things.
Gwinnett Stout beer, 44 caliber bullets, cigars, San Francisco Sunlights.
Interesting brand. Won't lead us anywhere on its own, though. What's with the hard look? Say something.
What? The great Clockwork Dick is stumped?
It's synth detective, jackass. If you're gonna be that way, you might as well get the make and model right. Joking aside, but what about dog meat? Commonwealth mutt like him can track a man's scent for miles. Well, dog meat seems eager for the job. Why don't you let him have a whiff? See if he picks up on the trail. Before you head out, I know this is personal business. If you have to face Kellogg on your own, just say so. Besides, you already have plenty of company. Can't all go sniffing through the Commonwealth after one man.
Any words of wisdom?
Kellogg really is the one who kidnapped your son, and he's dangerous. But so are you. You don't need to be afraid of him, or anything else the Commonwealth throws at you.
I want you with me on this, Nick.
All right. Well, let's get that bastard. This is your show from here on out, okay? You say jump, I'll say how high.
I don't know why we let Valentine live in the city. He saves one or two people, and everyone forgets he's a freaking synth.
Heard you rescued Valentine. Good work. This scare the hell out of me. Nikki, he ain't like those Institute psychos.